Narcissistic people tend to see everyone as either all good or all bad. If you're new here, my name is Lee Hammock. I'm a clinically diagnosed narcissist, and welcome to another episode of A Narcissist Explains. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about just that, how some narcissistic people see you as all good, but when they see you as all bad or flawed, it's over, it's done with. Stay tuned, like and subscribe for more.
What killed your feelings for someone you were once madly in love with?
They shattered the image of who I thought they were. And if you're new here, I'm a narcissist. I actually have narcissistic personality disorder. So a lot of narcissistic people, when they are love bombing you, they create this perfect image of you in their heads. They think they were actually in love with you, just like I thought I was in love with one of my exes. I created this perfect image of her, just like the perfect person for me. I felt like I had found my soulmate. Here comes the love bombing process and things like that. It was super hot and heavy for a few months. Everything is moving super fast, just like typical narcissistic types of relationships do. One day she just opened her mouth and I looked at her differently from that point forward. Almost instantly, I didn't care about it anymore. I was just like, why am I with you? I started questioning my love for this person. I started to resent this person because they did not live up to this image I had of them in my head. A lot of narcissists and toxic people build this false image of you that you can never ever live up to. Once this image is shattered, they will stop love bombing you, they will start to devalue you, and they will treat you like a stranger. It's like turning off a light switch in a relationship. So she shattered the perfect image of who I thought she was. And it's not, y'all. This happens in every single relationship with a narcissist or a toxic person, whoever you're dealing with. The toxicity runs rampant. This is one of the unavoidables of narcissistic toxic relationships right here. This is one of the unavoidables. Like, this is going to happen to damn near every single person that enters a relationship with a narcissist. You're going to get emotionally discarded because they're going to see you as a flawed person sooner or later. And no, I'm not saying that you are a flawed person. I'm not saying that. Listen to me carefully. I'm not saying that you yourself are a flawed person. I'm not saying that. But you are. I mean, no. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with your flaws. I'm sorry, my mind went blank. I was going off on a tangent. You are a flawed person. We all are. I'm flawed. You're flawed. There's no perfect person. There's only one perfect person ever created, and y'all believe you're a believer. You know what I'm talking about? No perfect person has ever been created. Like, no. I'm saying it again. You're not a perfect person. But narcissistic people, when we first meet you, we look at you as perfection. We look at you as this perfect image of who we want to be with. Like, we can't imagine ourselves with anybody else right now at this moment in time. Like, you are mine. Like, I cannot believe that you are available. I cannot believe that I get to have you. I cannot believe that you are the person I get to spend my time with, get to spend my life with. Like, thank God you are here. You know what I mean? That happens so much in a lot of these toxic relationship dynamics. That happens, y'all. Like, the image that they create of you is going to be shattered. The perfect image that they create of you is going to be shattered because we see people, and I say we because I'm a narcissist, we see people as either all good and perfect, or we see them as all bad and flawed. And one flaw can shift you into the all bad territory. One little flaw can shift you into the all bad territory. What I mean flaw is like one ounce of actual humanity. We're not perfect people. We're not created perfectly. Once they see a flaw, you shift. And it could take time to see that flaw. There's no set time limit on when they see that flaw. But your flaws are going to show through. Their flaws are going to show through. It's just like most relationships are two flawed people that coexist together in a very manageable, communicative way. Y'all exist in a good way. That's what healthy relationships are. Dealing with each other's flaws in a healthy way. You know, depending on what the flaw is. You know, some flaws are bigger than others. But this is how it works, y'all. We're not perfect. You can be perfect together because you deal with each other's flaws well. You see what I'm saying? But narcissistic people, we don't deal with flaws well at all. That's just not something. We are a flaw. We are a flaw avoidant. Because when you shift to this all bad territory, y'all, I'm not saying you're a bad person. That's what I meant earlier. I'm not saying you're a bad person. You're not a bad person because they see you as all bad. You're not a bad person. They just see you as all bad because you're not perfect. And you didn't create this image of perfection. We did that. That's on us. We created this image of perfection. We created you being perfect in our mind. We did that. You didn't do that. You're not responsible for how we view you. You see what I'm saying? You live your life. It's not your responsibility for somebody to view you as perfect. You see what I'm saying? But what, Lee? How can we make them not look at us as flawed people? You can't. Unless you somehow die and come back born as Jesus Christ, you cannot be a perfect person. You can't. And it's not your fault, y'all. You know what I'm just saying? Remember, it's not your fault that you're not a perfect person. How you be perfect, y'all? Narcissistic people expect perfection, but are not able to give it to you. They expect things to be given to them which we cannot give ourselves. We are not perfect, but we expect you to be perfect. What the hell kind of sense does that make? You see what I'm saying? Understand the toxicity of how some narcissistic people's minds work. I'm not saying every single narcissist works the same way. But I'm just saying, just understand that that's the toxicity in the mindset. Like we view you as flawed, you will always be viewed as flawed. And again, I'm not saying that it's your fault. In the time limit, there's no time limit. Everybody gets emotionally discarded, y'all. But that's why I said this part right here is inevitable. This part right here is what I call the emotional discard. Once they view you as all bad, quote unquote, that's when the emotional discard happens. That's when they start taking things away. The love bombing stops or slows down to a slow drip. You see what I'm saying? This is what happens in this situation right here. The love bombing slows down. The affection slows down. Everything kind of slows down to a point, to a damn near a halt. You know? And it's not your fault. Listen to me when I say this, y'all. Listen to me in the healthiest way you can listen to me. It's not your fault. You're not perfect, y'all. We are all flawed people. I'm not saying you're not a good person. You can be a beautifully great, enthusiastic, just empathetic person. That's not your fault that this person viewed you as perfect. You know, and the flaw that bubbles to the surface, it could be you just say the word no. The word no, if you say the word no or set in a boundary on a narcissist, you just went to all bad. That's all it takes out there. That's all it takes a lot of times, y'all. If you say the word no, you tell them no, you're not interested, or you reject them, or they perceive you reject them, you criticize them, whatever, you just went to the all bad category. And there's no going back to the all good. You can't. It's just like being in the world of black and white, right? We see, let's say narcissists see the world in black and white, and once your flaws start to show through, we see you in color now. You don't fit into our world anymore because now you're in color. You're high def. You're in 4K. We on the boob tube. We black and white. You're in 4K. We see you as different now. You saw that, and you hear what I just said. You hear the analogy I just used. There's nothing wrong with being in 4K. We're behind the times. We're emotionally underdeveloped. Your 4K features, your presentation, your ability to be presented in color in high def is a benefit. It's not a flaw. It's an evolutionary thing, y'all. You have emotional intelligence. It's evolution. Like I said, you are there. You know what I mean? It's not a flaw to be. It's not. It doesn't make you a bad person. Is what I'm saying, y'all. It's just wild how the mind of a lot of narcissists work. And again, y'all, I'm talking about myself. My mind works this way too. Like I said, saying the word no can make a person look at you as all bad. How stupid is this? How dumb does that sound? Setting a boundary can make somebody look at you as all bad. How ridiculous is that? You see what I'm saying? That's all it takes sometimes, y'all. It's literally all it takes sometimes is for that to happen, for those words to come out, and then it's over. It's done with. You get burned. You damn near get burned to a crisp because of it right there. You know, I want people to win, y'all. I do want y'all to win. If anything, y'all, I want people to win, and just keep winning their life. I want people to wake up to the world of narcissistic, toxic abuse and live more authentic, healthy lives. I want narcissists to wake up and go to therapy. You mean, because it's not right that we see people's flaws as irreparable and making them all bad. It's just not right. You know what I mean? But just because they see you as all bad, y'all, does not, I'll wrap up with this right here. Just because they see you as all bad now, or as they see you in color, in vivid color, does not mean that they will leave you alone. I will say that right there. Just because you are flawed now, they don't see you as perfect, it does not mean that they will leave you alone. It just means that you're flawed. And you mean they won't treat you as a perfect person anymore. They see you as a flawed human being. Just like most people on this planet are flawed human beings. They see you as flawed now. It doesn't mean that they will leave you alone. Everybody, I feel like, gets emotionally discarded, but I don't think everybody gets physically discarded. They won't physically get rid of you. That's why I always tell people, longevity in the relationship does not always mean the relationship is a good relationship. You know, being in a long-term relationship doesn't mean it's long-term happiness. You could be long-term unhappy. You could be long-term, it could be long-term abusive relationship. Your grandma and our grandma and grandpas could have been in a relationship together where just being abusive for 50 years. We see the number. We see, 50 years, celebrating 50 years of marriage. You know, And grandma hate grandpa. Grandpa hate grandma. They trying to. They hope one of them have a stroke and go to the hospital. The other person cries when they come back home. You see what I'm saying? They ready to be done with each other. But that's how it goes sometimes, y'all. You don't want to get that, like I said, longevity does not always mean happiness. And I know people, some of y'all might have grandparents that been together for a long time, but don't even talk to each other no more. You know what I mean? They stay together for the kids or whatever the situation is. But somehow we have these parents or grandparents they're not even speaking terms anymore. You know, everybody wants that long love. You don't necessarily want long love. You want authentic love. You want happy love. You want the good love. You want the person that accepts your flaws as flaws and not as flaws or imperfections, and just accept them for what they are. Said a mouthful of this video, didn't I, y'all? It went on a lot longer. I got into it. Seeing you in color, that was a good one though. Wasn't black and white color. That's top of my head, y'all. Y'all gotta clap. If you made it this far, y'all, leave a comment that says 4K. That's all I gotta do. You made it this far. I'm super thankful for y'all. Check out the Self-Love Journal on Amazon if you haven't already. Lee Hammock, I love me. Like and subscribe for more. And as always, mental illness is out. Peace.